anyway, let's talk about the fight card we watched Saturday, right?
Oh.
It took me a second. He said, I got it now. I'm going to have to be on my phone because some of the stuff I had a lot wrote down. And I didn't. That board is not big enough for me to write all that stuff down.
I didn't watch the first fight.
Well, I'll kind of talk you along it. I know some of y'all seen the highlights. I've watched every fight on it just because I was like, I'm invested in this fight stuff. You had Garcia versus, I want to say it's Tellez or anyway, really good fight. It was the first fight on the card. And let's see, the guy that won, again, I know I'm messing his name up. I know I am.
He Hispanic?
Yeah, Tallez. How do you say that?
What is the name?
Like Tellez, Tallez.
What is that?
Top
Tellez?
Tellez?
Yeah.
Tellez?
Well, he took a 3-week fight notice. He had 3 weeks to get ready for this fight, which he was always training before that, right? Most fighters all just stay in. Anyway, he had a 3-week notice to take this fight. He takes it. The guy apparently trained, or he was from Cuba. He trained in Russia, and then he came to the U.S.
Dang.
So really cool background story as far as fighting goes. He made his TV debut that Saturday, and we're talking about the Errol Spence and Terence Crawford fight. He made his TV debut Saturday. So that was awesome. He got a knockout in the 3rd round. So I was like, wow, way to start off. So he's now 6-0, and I mean I think it's awesome. So that was a really cool fight.
So what was this? Noted 1, 2 day notice, 3 day notice, a week notice.
It was 3 weeks.
3 weeks or whatever.
Notice.
Yeah. Well, how does that work?
That you get the phone call. Something happened to Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. He wasn't supposed to fight AJ. Anthony Joshua wasn't supposed to fight Andy Ruiz. The fight canceled, whoever he had. So they had to find a replacement. So you call last minute. Hey, do you want to fight my guy? Hey, do you want to fight my guy? Do you want to fight my guy? That's why they say always stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Because any day you might get that phone call.
Yeah, because there's tickets already sold.
So they have to fill that spot in. And it worked out for him. He got his TV debut.
Yeah,
and then it worked for him. He got
I mess with it. I like it, but then I don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
But as a fighter's perspective, you want to fight. That's why they train nonstop. So you can be ready.
Just for example,
So you have a chance to make your fighter has a chance to make millions.
Yes.
You would say no.
No, I'm saying yes, but it's kind of messed up though. I think it is because he took that 3-week notice or whatever, and I'm like, but you said you always gotta stay ready or whatever. What about if you always stay ready, but that call never comes? Damn.
I mean, you're good, yeah, but you're as a fighter, you're gonna have those fights. But when you have those big fights, you never know. You have to you gotta make it. But I mean, you gotta think. We're already getting off subject, but with Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz, they might already call 5 different guys, and Andy was the only one to be like, "I'll take the fight."
Cause then the one that fought Cruz and dude, he was what's the notice?
We'll get to that.
Okay,
we'll get to that. The next fight is Santiago versus Donaire, and Santiago was the shortest Hispanic guy that we saw. Remember, they're talking about he was the shorter fighter. We're talking about Enrique, who was texting the group chat.
Yeah.
And so you had the next fight was Santiago and Donaire. Donaire was 40 years old fighting the opponent who was 27. And I was telling you about that fight the other day.
He was his idol, whatever.
Yeah, he was his idol.
Yes.
So Donaire, it was a good fight. It was kind of back and forth. I felt through the whole fight, Donaire was doing a lot better than, or Santiago was doing a lot better than Donaire. Donaire gets cut the 3rd round. He gets a cut on his eye. He rocks him. He accidental headbutt round 7. So a lot of back and forth fight. Him getting a headbutt. He's a shorter fighter. He was going to come in, kept getting accidental headbutts, causing cut above the eye. And then Santiago won, in my opinion, all round but one. And then he is now the WBC world champion for the bantamweight. So that was pretty cool. He went from, watching his idol fight to becoming his rival, beat him, and now being WBC world champion bantamweight. And he just had a 2-month-old son.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. And he was pretty emotional after the fight. Going from watching somebody you really like to having to fight.
That sucked.
Oh, absolutely. But it happens a lot. But he did it, came through victorious, got the WBC world champ, so that's awesome. Up next is Cruz, and your guy.
My guy.
Used to be his guy.
No, I don't even know the guy.
Is it Cruz?
I think you're talking about the other
guy.
No, that's my guy.
And then Cabrera, how do you say his name?
Cabrera.
So, them two, they fought. What'd you think? I'm not even going to.
I mean, when we first seen him, the way he was standing, it was oh my goodness, it was crazy because he was just like, hands down,
yeah, like this. And what I find really odd, my thoughts before going to the fight, I always look at who the coach is. I always pay attention to who is his trainer. And then I go kind of based off that. Okay, he's got a good trainer, he'll be a good fighter.
Yeah.
You know? He goes in, Freddie Roach is his trainer, and immediately drops his hands down. And I'm sitting in the group chat videos of this guy, and we're all like having the same reaction. This guy can't be serious. And his record was 21-0, 7 knockouts. Yeah. And he gets in there, and his hands are down in his pockets, like throwing punches. I mean, it was insane. Yeah. But I will give the guy.
He has a hell of a chin.
Granted.
Hell of a chin.
And Cruz landed some, bombs on this
dude.
And he just can't get him out of there. I hate it. I wanted to see him get a knockout so bad. We all wanted to see a knockout.
Yeah.
We're all pit bull. Because he said in the press conference, he's like, I'm going to show y'all Saturday why I deserve that rematch with Gervonta Davis. And he didn't show me.
He kind of didn't show me that. Yeah. I mean, I love Pitbull. I mean, wanted him to see him fight or whatever. But he didn't. I mean, he done his stuff. But I mean, he really didn't show me like.
If you ask me, he could have showed his skill by boxing more. You'll see fighters like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Tiffany Lopez. Even when they're in the boxing, they'll beat you up and they showboat. Like they're like dancing around. Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant might not knock you out, but he makes the fight entertaining. Where you're like, oh man, look at he's like showboat looking outside the ring. He makes it fun. Like
Cruz is just like this, just like this. Like this. I'm like, bruh, do something else.
You know, get that movement in.
But like, he looks so serious. Yeah, he is focused like this. Just focused.
He wanted to knock him out, but he couldn't. So I feel like he needed to change, make some adjustments, and kind of have a little bit more fun. If you realize you can't get the guy out of there, might as well make it fun because he won clearly.
Yeah.
But what blows my mind at the end of the fight, they had a split decision. Remember they said it. They were like split. I was like split decision. I was like that guy was getting the brakes beat off of him. Cruz is just chilling, and I was like they about robbed him. That made me kind of nervous because I'm like the next fight is Crawford and Spence, and I'm like if I'm getting nervous over this, if it goes a distance in the next fight, then they might end up like screwing a guy over because that happens before. You'll see a lot of fights where they'll give it to the other guy because the refs are kind of or the judges are like I like that guy, we'll go with him. So that was pretty cool, but split decision. So that's cool. I had that guy 2 rounds. I think they did 10. He had 2 rounds. The next big fight, which everybody was hyped about, I was hyped about it, talking about it, is Errol Spence Jr. versus Bud. So we'll just go ahead and go straight to it. What do you guys think about that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Not the way I expected it to go for sure, but it was a hell of a fight.
What blows my mind is, and I've been talking about this for a couple podcasts now about the mega fight between them two. Undisputed 147. Yeah. So I'm gonna go right to it, man. You had what was the guy that walked out? Errol Spence. He's
from Texas.
Big X Plug.
Yeah. Dude, I'm fucking lying.
That sounds hard.
He's like, don't mess with Texas.
And they got that look.
I was getting hard.
It was hard.
So I was like, okay, bet. And then you looked at Spence Crawford got to walk out with Eminem. Kind of like last minute. It was 2 days before the fight. Somebody he made a video with Shakur, and they were like, who's walking out? He's like, I don't know yet. He's like, I think it'd be cool if Eminem walked me out. Eminem comments on it. It was like, dude, you're one of my favorite fighters. That'd be awesome. And then bam, he walks him out. I think that's cold. That's awesome. What really sticks out to me, which fun fact about Terence, is that he wraps his own hands before fights.
That man was focused.
In that video, I love when the reporter's like, "Oh, we're here with Terence Crawford." He's like wrapping his hand. Dude, the calmness, the steel, make your back of your neck hair stand up. He's like, I've been ready for this moment my whole life. I'm ready to have everything that comes with it. And he's just chilling. And I'm like, man, this boy's about to go out here and just kill this man. And then they get in there, the first round. On paper, this fight is a 50-50 fight. You could have picked anybody, nobody would have been mad at you. Yeah. And then the opening bell goes off. The first round, I had Errol in the first round. That was it. If you watch the fight, watch the highlights, it was a one-sided beating.
This is my first time seeing them both, any fights or whatever. So the first round, I was like, man, I gotta start getting on my phone. It's like, man, this is kind of boring or whatever.
And I seen Gus over on his phone. I was like, man.
Yeah, I was like, man, whatever. Like, this is his boy talking about his boy, Bud. They ain't doing nothing. Second round, he's like, Gus. No fun. I was like, oh, man.
Dude drops him. He drops Errol, dude. And Errol's a dog, dude. He is a dog. He is where he is because he's elite fighter. He's elite. And for Bud to showcase his skills like that, man, that tells me he's on a whole nother level.
Nice. He didn't look elite.
He didn't, did he? He looked He looked like
he the brakes off him.
And then he But he drops him again the 7th round. He drops him again. That's where he lands those 2 hooks.
Yeah.
He goes bam, bam, and like sends Errol across the ring. I was like, dude, man, it was a beating.
He was bullying him. He was just like, dude can do nothing.
And I'm not gonna lie, my thoughts before this, lead up to the fight, is, they talked about having a lot of respect for each other, and I get that. Each fighter does, but they would talk for years, setting this fight up. And there was a couple times where you would see Bud kind of back off the throttle, so to speak. He was letting Errol kind of move around. And I always talk about it. I've talked about this whole week with people. There was one part where I want to say it was the 6th round or 6th or 7th round, and Bud is giving Errol some distance, let him get his breath back. Just showing some love. I'll let you, get your breath, whatever. And Errol throws a big overhand, and Bud catches it and just pop, 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 like 3-piece counters it, and then backs off. And I was like, man, he was like giving you some airtime, and you just took it. And Bud's like, bet, bam, bam, bam. And just started, dude, I felt bad, man. He was beating off on him. Just beating him. And then, I should have used better words than that. But what I thought was really, something else is what you talked about, saying that he looked high. And then you sent me the video of his doctor talking about, that's a sign of brain damage. When your eyes are real glossy.
Yeah.
Because he said his wife said he's smoking weed. And he said, no, his eyes are glossy from his brain damage. But Bud also got shot in the back of the head. So I'm like, it's... battle the ones that had some shit going on.
Oh, man.
You can't even. So both of them have their stories. One was in a car wreck and the other one got shot. But they still didn't hear. You didn't hear no excuses from Errol at all.
No.
And he made a post this week and was like, I'm the kind of man that was raised up. We don't use excuses. Even if I had one, I wouldn't tell y'all. So he's still a warrior. He's still a hell of a fighter. Still elite fighter. Bud is just on that whole other level. And Bud ended up stopping on the 9th round. You could see it, man. There was nothing that he could do that was going to beat him, man. And huge props to Bomac, Terence's coach, because everybody making fun of him, which his coach is a little bit heavier set guy. They're all calling him, eat a lot of Big Macs and making fun of him because of his weight and this and that. And on the other side, Derek James just got Trainer of the Year with Errol Spence. And Bomac is loving it, dude. I've been seeing those videos of him hyped up, holding his belt, and they're like, "What do you think somebody asked Bomac, what do you think they could have done differently?" He's like, "Not sign the contract." And walks off, holding the belt. And Bomac just lit up, man, because they looked at him as a joke. They didn't take him serious. Yeah, you take Bud serious. He's the fighter, but they looked at Bomac as a joke. He's a big, heavy set guy. And you ain't coaching him.
But that's just me. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't judge the coach. You know what I'm saying? Because look at Roach. You know what I'm saying?
Roach, yeah. He's got Parkinson's
and all that. He's a hell of a coach.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be,
And then you got to look at Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's coach. He's never boxed ever. He's been a coach his whole career. He's never had no experience boxing whatsoever. But his dad was a coach.
Yeah.
And he picked it up. He picked up the mantle. But man, great fight, dude. It wasn't competitive at all. It was a one-sided beating.
Yeah.
And it was awesome, man. We need fights like that to happen. These big guys fighting each other. Yeah. And right after the fight, there was an immediate rematch, which Errol said that he would do the rematch, but he wants it at 154. And, they'll probably end up doing it because they asked both of them. And Bud said, I felt drained as well. We'll do it at 154. Well, do you think the outcome's going to be any different?
Not really.
I don't think there's nothing he can do, man. Bud just put it on.
Yeah.
He can.
And I just love it how now that in interviews he's like, y'all doubt me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said, I was too small. He was too big. He said, I was too strong. And you could see it, man. Errol would hit Bud, and Bud would just eat it.
Yeah.
And then bam, bam, bam. I'm like, dude, it's the same. Their body language was just giving it away, man. He was just, teeing off.
Who's on that class weight? Who
at 147?
Yes.
They were the top ones. You have Ennis, Boots.
Yeah.
You got him. You got Keith Thurman. But as far as that, man, Errol was the next big name, which a lot of people don't know much about Ennis. Boots.
Yeah.
He's still kind of up and coming, but he said that he wanted to fight Terence Crawford, and Terence is like, he ain't fought nobody. He's like, earn your stripes.
Yeah.
He's like, and we talked about it this week. Terence don't gain nothing from beating Ennis, but Ennis wins everything.
Yeah.
So of course he wants that big fight, but he's like, you ain't fought nobody. And I sent that video to him on that phone call, and he's like, I've been calling you out. He's like, when have you called out Terence Crawford? And he's like, since 2018, I want all the big names. He said, but did you call my name out? He's like, man, he's capping. And he said, he goes, if you believe him, you're a fool. If you believe him, you're a fool. And he's like, calling him out. He's like, you ain't calling out my name. He's like, no. He's like, I've been saying I want those big fights. He's like, you saying big fights and saying you want Terence Crawford are two different things.
Mm.
So I was like, yeah, man, that's facts. But again, I mean, awesome fight. I had a great time watching the fights. What do you think? Anything you want to kind of go back on or anything?
I'm just like, now that, Cruz won, now I want to see Cruz and Buddy. What's his name? Big tall.
Oh, I forgot about that. Ron Garcia.
Ron Garcia.
He was saying that, bring on Cruz, this and that, this
And
and
then
that.
I did not know this, but Garcia was saying that he been calling Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? He'd be like, man, we don't, you ain't signed the contract. You punking that. You just want to fight the fights that they gonna get paid.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, okay, Pitbull could be in sign the same contract. Shit.
Would you want to watch that?
Yeah.
Just to see him
put him down. Yeah.
I think it'd be a good fight.
I think it would.
Is it Cruz and Gervonta, or is it Cruz and Ron Garcia?
Ryan Garcia, yeah.
All right, I bet that would be a good fight. The thing is, Ryan sells tickets anyway.
Facts.
I mean, he's a big influencer. Yeah. He does sell tickets.
Who do you think? I mean, I kind of know the answer, but who do you think will sell more tickets if he fought Garcia or Tank?
Who?
Pitbull.
He would make more if he fought Garcia.
Really?
I think, yeah.
Just
the reason I say that is because Gervonta and them already fought, but I think him fighting Ryan Garcia, I think with him already having that smack talking going on.
Right.
And then I think that would sell a fight. So I think personally, that would make more money. People love to watch Ryan Garcia fight, man. And as much as I like Ryan. He's not my favorite fighter by any means. I respect all fighters, but he's got a point. He does sell tickets. Like, Gervonta knocks people out, but he don't really put a lot of butts in the seats. But
right.
Ryan Garcia does, because he has all that big following, and, women love him, kids love him. He's on TikTok and Instagram, all social media, so they love him. Gervonta's like, I'm not here for social media. I'm here to put you down. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to beat you and be a champion. That's it. So, if you like what you heard, like what you saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. What'd you think about the fights? What do you want to see next out of Errol and Bud and all these big names in boxing? Anything you want to say?
Man, make sure y'all subscribe. I'm still trying to get out of the mud. That ain't working. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, because I'm hurting.
And time.